All right, we have a trade and a few minor signings to talk about real quickly here. The Islanders send Devon Toews to the Colorado Avalanche for 2 second-round draft picks. Not a bad deal. Colorado gets a depth defenseman who can play a lot of minutes. He averaged around 20 or so last season, in about 68 games. Now, he's not going to put you up a ton of points, but it's respectable. In 68 games, 6 goals, 28 points, +1. In 22 games in the playoffs, 2 goals, 10 points, +3. A guy who went on a deep dive in the playoffs should really help this team as well, especially playing the way that he learned to under Barry Trotz. Now, when it comes to Colorado and where he fits in, Toews is he's 6'1", 191 pounds, left shot, 26 years old. He is an RFA with arbitration rights, though, so they do have to sign him. So that's the kind of side note right there. And Colorado doesn't have a ton of cap space left for this season anymore. Just under $7 million, just over 6.7 in space left. Remember, they sent Zadorov in a trade to Chicago for SAD, amongst other things. And so they think they needed some more depth on their defense. So this is a good pickup for them, really. Now, on the left side, they also have Ryan Graves, of course, as well as Samuel Girard and Ian Cole, who can play both sides. On the right, Cale Makar and Eric Johnson. Now, don't forget that they got a couple youngsters stewing in the pot. Connor Timmins, who's a right shot. Maybe he sees some time. We'll see at training camp how far he's come along. He's been playing in the AHLs, 21, 6'2"-ish. Maybe he comes up midway through the season or injuries, that kind of deal. Or he could stay for one more season. It wouldn't be the end of the world for him. Then there's Bowen Byram, who's around 18, 19 years old. He's a left shot. I could probably see him sticking up around another year in the minors, but that's sort of up in the air as well. Now, why did the Islanders do this, right? They needed to make some cap space. They didn't really have the room for him. Now, they do have just over $8.9 million in space available, but they've got Matthew Barzal. Just a minor player there to sign. He's an RFA with no arbitration rights, 23 years old. He's probably going to be looking at around a $9 million range, give or take, and they don't have enough right now. And he's not their only player they got to re-sign. They have Ryan Pulock on defense. He's 26 years old. He's a right shot. He's an RFA with arbitration rights. So there may be some more movement here, maybe a player or two on the way out for the Islanders. Maybe they buy out Johnny Boychuk, who's 36 years old and making $6 million for the next 2 seasons. Remember, he got hit in the eye at one point. So that was kind of scary. Had some stitches. His eyelid got cut open. If you remember, he played 64 games last season, 2 goals, 11 points, -11. He played 3 games in the playoffs as well, but only late afterwards, I think, when injuries kind of struck them. So I would think that's one of the things they would probably do. But yeah, moving on, let's talk about a few other minor trades here very quickly. Lucas Wallmark, who is formerly of the Carolina Hurricanes, who was traded to the Florida Panthers during last season. He's a depth center guy, 25 years old, 6 foot, 178 pounds, from Sweden. He had, in 7 games with the Panthers, 1 goal, 2 points, plus minus was 0. In 2 playoff games, he had 0 points and was a -1. He's a good player, though. Works hard in the corners, that kind of thing. Worker bee. In 60 games with Carolina, however, last season he had 11 goals, 23 points. So that's 12 goals, 25 points altogether. That's a pretty good 4th-line center and or half-decent 3rd-line center kind of man for Chicago, who we don't know what they're doing right now. I think they're just kind of going to be a better Detroit next season. I mean, they still have Toews and everyone, but, you know, I talked about this in my last video. The core is upset that they're trading away players like Saad and not re-signing Crawford, and looks like they're just looking to survive next season. I don't know. We'll see how that goes, if anything changes. Anyone surprised that Bowman is still around as a GM? Yeah, me too. So, next player we're going to talk about is... Oh my God, I took his name off here. Is a defenseman that was just signed by the Flyers. And I'm talking about, where are you? Erik Gustafsson. Now, he was signed to only a one-year deal worth $3 million. Now, he's 28 years old, 197 pounds, 6 foot. Plays left and right, but he's a left shot. He's usually on a good team. He's the second power play defenseman. Now, in Calgary, he really only played 7 games. He had 3 points, was a -1. In 10 playoff games for them, he had 4 assists and was a +1. Now, with Chicago in 59 games last season, 6 goals, 26 points. So that's 6 goals, 29, math, 29 points altogether last season. We'll see how he does. I mean, after losing Niskanen, who was a paired off with, I'm going to say Provorov there, who's more of a defensive-orientated guy but still put up points. They needed to fill that hole. I'm not sure Gustafsson is that guy, but again, you know, maybe he steps into the second power play spot there. I mean, looking at Philadelphia's defense, on the left side, they've got Provorov, the Ghost, and Sanheim, as well as Hag. On the right side, they got Myers, Braun, and now Gustafsson, who can play both sides. So, interesting pickup by Philly. I'd love to hear what the Flyers fans have to say about this one. And last, I'm going to talk about Brad Richardson here, who was signed by the Nashville Predators on a 1-year contract for $1 million. Thought they might have been able to get him for a little bit cheaper. Saved maybe 100 or 200 grand on this one. But anyways, in 59 games for Arizona, he had 6 goals, 11 points, was a +1. In the playoffs, in 9 games, he had 2 goals, 3 points, and -1. Not bad for a guy who's, 35. Just had a birthday in February, by the way. Now, he had a very strange year the season before last, in 2018-19, where in 66 games, he had 19 goals. What? And 27 points. The closest he's gotten to that mark, you have to go back a few years to 2015-16, his first year with the Coyotes, where he had 11 goals. That's his benchmark there, folks. So, yeah, he did put up 11 goals with the Canucks a few years before that as well. My phone's buzzing. And in the Kings in 2009-10, he put up 11 goals. He's played everywhere, with Colorado as well. So, a depth guy for the Predators. I would love to hear from all you fans out there, especially from the teams mentioned in the comment section, what you think of these signings, the trade, etc. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, which will alert you when my next video comes up. Thanks again. Please be kind to each other out there. Happy Thanksgiving for you Canadians out there, and I'll see you soon.